welcome back to another episode of Inside Access Control, sponsored by SIA. Very excited today to have Bill Wood from SALTO join me. Bill, thank you very much for taking the time.
You're welcome, Lee. Thank you for having me.
Of course, absolutely. So why don't we start off with, we'll just have you introduce yourself, your background. Very interesting. You've been in the business quite a while, so you've seen a lot, and I think it's good for people to hear that. And then give a little bit of overview of SALTO. It's a company that a good amount of people do know about, but I do know it's also a very popular company that people want to know more about.
I've been at SALTO now for going on 4 years. My background, I've been predominantly on the electronic low voltage side. I started shortly after college in the fire alarm business, calling on electrical contractors, and spent most of my career in the Midwest, working in the Midwest. So I have a Midwestern mentality when it comes to work ethic and drive, I guess is the right way to say that. I was fortunate enough to be provided the opportunity to join the SALTO team after being a dealer for a number of years and a reseller, and came on board and I'm now in Atlanta running the team here in the US and Canada. We are, for those that may not know the SALTO brand, we're known very well within a few select niche areas of the market, and our exposure is broadening, I think, today, particularly here in North America. We're a Spanish company. Basically, we manufacture, design, develop, and build not just physical hardware, but software and platforms to support those operations in a variety of applications across many verticals.
So in looking at sort of where we're at now with the current climate that we have, could you provide a little bit of sort of insight on how you're seeing? So, I could just basically ask, like, how's it going? And that
Sure.
typically sparks a good conversation. So how's it going?
Well, in our businesses, it's almost like fighting a war with multiple fronts. And there are some fronts that we're doing exceptionally well in, and other fronts where we have challenges. So some of the areas that we've identified that so far the coronavirus situation has caused a severe acceleration in a lot of projects that were in progress. So folks are anxious and nervous and are trying to get to the end line as quickly as possible. So in some areas, we're seeing lots of acceleration and real strong growth. It's crazy to say that out loud. However, when we look at things like tech support, the number of calls, we're currently down somewhere around 30% of our normal call volume. I've never been in a position where I was wishing for more tech support calls, but it's a real indicator of what's going on in our partners' businesses. How many of their guys are out on the street serving customers? I'm happy to report that we're seeing that rise from what I believe was the bottom of the valley. We're back up to almost 40% of normal call volume in that area. So it's an interesting time. I never thought that I would ever be hoping for more tech support calls.
Yeah, you don't hear that very much from people on that end.
No,
Like,
no.
I wish more people were calling me. Yeah, no. Yeah, but it is a good indicator, and I do think it'll get back to normal in a lot of these cases, especially too. So as you see people going back to work and back to businesses and the rest of it, are there any areas that you're particularly interested in, or that is it touchless? Is it the data side? Like, what are those areas? And then I would also say, since you do a good amount of business in the multifamily space on that end, any context of what you're seeing there would be interesting too.
Yeah, I think across all the lodging spaces, so hospitality, multifamily, short-term rental, all of these different lodging-oriented applications, we are now seeing a rapid acceleration of contactless mobile credential adoption. So, in the hospitality segment, as an example, we haven't provided. I think it's been 5 years since we provided a hardware set that wasn't BLE capable. it's interesting now that a lot of that dormant technology is being turned on very quickly.
Yeah.
So there's a tremendous push. We see it in all of these markets to provide a safe environment for their clients and their personnel. And again, one of those COVID-19 accelerators.
Yeah, and it's funny that because one of the phase changes that we've been talking about is the acceptance of the technology that's been in place for some companies for a while, where before it was seen as a nice to have, right? Like, oh, you want to go from cards to your mobile phone because it's the cool factor type side, and people want frictionless. To where now, yeah, you want touchless and contactless, and it becomes a health story. So people are able to use that same technology to do that. So it's a call it good timing, if anything, and I believe that's going to be one of those things that just continues to accelerate out of this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Absolutely. So if what actually, I'll pause and then because I'll pick back up. Is there anything that you all are looking for or are interested in? So are you looking for more dealers? Is anything? Are you looking to expand? Whatever it might be. The listeners typically like to hear about those types of things, so they know they could reach out if they're interested.
Yeah, I think I have to assume that everyone would suggest that they're always looking for more. I would suggest that we're generally looking for different. We have a unique offering, and we really want to work with folks that are interested in doing it differently than the way that they've always done it, to continue to bring more value to our partners, to our end users, and to the community as a whole.
I really like that idea. We're not looking for more; we're looking for different. That's great. If somebody's interested in that and they want to get a hold of the company and find out more information, where's the best place to go?
Yeah, the quickest way to get a hold of us would be to go to www.salto.us. That takes you directly to the US website. Otherwise, you can feel free to email info@salto.com or saltosystems.com. Apologies. Or anyone can contact me directly at b.wood@saltosystems.com.
Wonderful. I appreciate you doing this and spreading the message and letting people know. I told you before, I put out a note that said, who do you want to hear from? And you were one of the 3 people that they put on there. So I appreciate you responding and look forward to getting this out. So thank you for taking the time.
You're welcome, Lee. Thank you for the opportunity to spend some time with you and your audience.
Awesome. Thank you.